Generating a single, impressive 4-second AI video clip is easy. Building those clips into a coherent narrative scene is where the process usually falls apart. You might prompt a dynamic action sequence of a character moving rapidly through a physical environment, and the motion looks great. But try to get that exact same character to walk into the next room, and they suddenly look like a completely different person. The reason your characters mutate every 4 seconds is that the individual platforms you're using were never designed to talk to each other. For a solo creator, forcing these platforms to communicate creates a massive financial bottleneck. Charting the fragmented AI stack: $20 for scripting, $30 for images, $50 for video, and $20 for audio, a $120 baseline, plus the hidden operational cost, hours lost manually exporting, formatting, and keyframing clips across different platforms. A platform called Flova AI is trying to solve this by bringing all of these discrete tasks under one roof. It consolidates over 20 different generation models into a single interface. The capability to make AI short films already exists. The actual barrier preventing creators from making them is the financial and operational overhead of duct taping 5 different tools together. Most video generators are tools. You feed in a prompt, it spits out a clip, and you start over if you don't like it. Flova is positioned as an agent. You type a concept, and the agent builds a storyboard, generates visual assets, and acts as a production director, coordinating workflows. To use an agent, you have to make a specific trade-off. You yield granular parameter-level control, and the automated pipeline self-selects the right AI models for each specific task based strictly on what your prompt requires. Adopting this workflow means shifting your mindset. You stop playing prompt roulette, hoping for a lucky output, and start operating in a supervisory directorial role. We've all seen the AI lottery. You generate 10 clips, stitch them together, and the character teleports between shots while their physical features morph randomly. It feels like a slideshow. Flova addresses this with a system it calls skills. These are standardized professional filmmaking rules embedded directly into the generation process, so you don't have to spend hours writing highly specific prompts. The core of this system is a define first, generate second philosophy. Before any animation happens, you have to lock in what your character actually looks like. The system ensures consistency by generating a 3x3 character grid, locked into a central visual anchor. This anchor feeds specific pixel parameters outward, dictating the starting frames of new shots. Finally, the model builds clips referencing that locked data. There is also a compositional role running in the background. Every scene defaults to a medium shot first, ensuring that your characters and any planned dialogue remain fully visible in the frame, without you having to manually prompt for camera placement. By embedding directing conventions into the pipeline, the system eliminates character drift. You get continuous character consistency because the tool refuses to start animating until all visual reference points are fully locked. Even with a locked character, standard AI clips suffer from jarring jump cuts when placed back-to-back on a timeline. The character is suddenly facing a slightly different direction, or the lighting shifts drastically. To solve this, Flova uses a logic called tail-to-head frame connection. The system takes the exact pixel data from final clip A and repurposes it to become the first frame of clip B. Because the 2 clips share that exact same image asset, the scene composition remains perfectly continuous. The environment doesn't reset. This allows fluid camera movements between angles, like dollying forward through a forest and seamlessly transitioning into a sweeping pan across a mountain ridge. Now, there is a practical catch. Sora 2 provides the best visual quality for these multi-shot sequences, but it operates under rigid United States-based compliance and copyright restrictions. If you are trying to use an existing intellectual property, you have to use a prompt workaround. You cannot use a copyrighted character's name. You have to describe their specific physical features and clothing instead. If you still hit guardrails, you can use the platform's model swapping fallback. You can switch your generation to Kling or another available model. You get fewer restrictions, though you trade away a slight amount of visual fidelity. Achieving a continuous, professional take requires navigating this balance. You are constantly weighing top-tier model fidelity against the strict copyright guardrails those models enforce. Adding dialogue is usually the final bottleneck. Syncing audio to non-photorealistic faces, like stylized anime or 3D renders, almost always requires manual manipulation in post-production. Flova includes a feature called Omni-Human 1.5. You upload a single static image and an audio track, and it matches the emotional lip sync, head sway, and body rhythm to the specific tone of the dialogue. If a shot isn't working, you don't have to scrap the whole sequence. You can type plain language comments directly onto a specific asset on your timeline to adjust lighting or camera angles in real time without reprompting the rest of the scene. Automated lip sync and precise version control reduce multi-character dialogue post-production from days to minutes, which brings us back to the fragmentation problem we started with. The immediate financial return of consolidating over 20 models into a single $19 subscription is clear. You are saving roughly $100 a month compared to buying the stack piece by piece. But the time investment return is much larger. You are eliminating the manual labor of duct taping those tools together. This setup shifts your cognitive load. You spend less time troubleshooting export formats and keyframes, and more time actually focusing on the narrative flow of your project. The primary value of the platform is the predictable narrative coherence it provides, which outweighs the simple subscription savings. This platform is not for everyone. Its value depends entirely on what you are trying to produce. This decision tree outlines practical use cases. For solo creators producing narrative films with recurring characters, automated consistency offers undeniable ROI. For one-off viral clips, stick to standalone tools. And for high-end VFX studios needing strict proprietary control, avoid this agent-based structure and keep manual pipelines. If your workflow aligns with the narrative path, there is a link in the video description. Using it gives you a registration bonus, plus weekly credits just for logging in and testing the pipeline. Try it out and let me know in the comments where you land. Do you prefer the granular control of duct taping standalone tools, or is the automated consistency of an AI agent worth the trade-off?